How are y'all today? It's good to have everyone here. How was lunch?
Very good.
It's so good that everybody is so sleepy. That, how was lunch? Good? Yeah. Thank you to all. Thanks to all the contributors who brought the food. Yeah. Was it delicious?
Oh, it's delicious.
Was it tasty?
Yes.
Does it has any tastiness? So today is the last day of the year. We're going to do some reflection in a short while. Yeah. A few weeks back, we had the conference organized by the Buddhist Union and the World Fellowship of Buddhists. There were some speakers, venerables from other countries. I remember there was one from I think both from Canada, one from US and one from Canada. They shared the state of Buddhism in their countries. One of them shared very interestingly how Buddhism is accepted and embraced by the locals in the West. Meditation in those countries like Canada and US is so accepted that in the picture you see the police sending their staff. These are actual police. They send them to the temple to learn meditation. You know, they actually do that. I don't know whether our dear Choping has internet connection. You don't have internet connection. Yeah, surely someone from NUS in doing research can solve this problem. The answer cannot be, no internet connection. Yeah, the answer should be, I don't have internet connection right now, but let me figure it out. And even if you don't have internet connection and you run out of data, somebody else can offer this. Who have data to share? Yeah, just turn around, Choping, look around. Yeah. Stop poking at your phone. Just use her Wi-Fi. So, when that venerable shared those pictures, and it's not just police, but it's the school, it's the hospital, all over. Yeah. Let's see how many person is required to set up internet connection. So, it's with mixed feelings when I see it on a big screen at the conference, because way before that I've seen this reported. Yeah. And it's not a hush thing. It's very open. Yeah. It's not that the police sent their officers to the temple. Sometimes they invite the venerables to the station to conduct the meditation. It's not a hush thing where, the venerable have to wear lay clothes. No. It's in their religious garb. Yeah, and it's not taken, the photos were not taken in a hidden camera, you know. Yeah. It's very open, it's recognized. You have connection. So you may want to go online and search police meditation Canada keywords and see what happened. There you go, the first one, YouTube. Okay, let you figure out. So, a lot of the Buddhists can you skip? Of course, because it's a Buddhist meditation video, you shouldn't expect much excitement.
Oops.
Why is your computer like that? Keep on shifting left and right.
It wants to go left.
Why does it want to go left?
Because the resolution adjusts.
Then can you reduce the resolution? Okay, you all just roughly see the thing. Yeah, these are not actors.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not; these are not Chinese as well. They are not Asian, not necessarily Asians, but Canadian police are keen to learn meditation provided by monk. Yeah, can you scroll down? Oh, and this is in September 2017. So it's not some obscure news from 20 years ago, and then this is just a few months back. And if you search for meditation in UK public school, don't know whether they have video, but you can search Google, meditation in UK public school. Top boarding school to introduce. Yeah. Yeah. The Guardian, meditation in schools. Yeah, the third link. That is in 2013. Yeah.
Wow, let's do that. Right now.
Of course, some of you are like, Shifu, I think that is very important. Let's try that now. So, and of course, while you are showing that, then the video camera is, so you can ask some of the 小菩萨 to help you, you see. You don't have to do both things at the same time. That's called delegation. And don't just show the people lying down. Then those on YouTube think that this is some dead people or what. Yeah. Go back to the title. Yes. So the irony about Buddhism is, Buddhism started off in India, spread to the east, and today has gone one full circle. And many of the practices, the teachings, the wisdom of Buddhism is somehow ignored by the young, dismissed by the adults, and then embraced for the wrong reason by the old. Yeah, and then it takes amour to embrace it, and then and then we say, oh, amour is doing it, so it must be good. Yeah, a very ironic twist of life, Yeah. So these are just a few articles, but there are many more cases of how the practice of meditation is starting to be explored. I wouldn't say it has taken root. Yeah, the West is still at the exploratory stage. yeah, in its engagement with Buddhism and meditation. But there's a reason why they are doing that. I mean, after all, these are not Asians. Yeah, this is not Asians in Canada. Yeah, this is not a temple in Canada. If Asians in a temple in Canada meditate, that's not news. Like, of course they should be doing that. Yeah, we have earlier on the article about, or not article, the video of Canadian police, yeah, sending their officers to learn meditation from monks. Yeah. So we gotta sometimes ask ourselves, what are we missing here? Yeah. Everybody look up. Yeah. Don't come here and then just keep staring on your phone, look at the floor. Yeah, this is for some of you all to pay attention to. Yeah. Ask yourself, think about it. Yeah. Especially the young people. Yeah. 30 years ago, I can't say 40 years ago because I was way too young at 40 years ago. But 30 years ago, if you go to a temple, Chinese temple, there's basically no meditation. Dharma, minimally. Yeah. After the puja, sometimes the monk, the venerable, the master will just say a few words. And other times, at best, it's in Mandarin. Otherwise, it's in Hokkien, or Teochew, or Cantonese, depending on which temple you go to. And the temples are segregated by dialect groups. Yeah. So back then, young people, 30 years ago when Sifu was a teenager, we have all the reasons to say, don't want to go temple. We have all the reasons because we don't understand it. Because it's in a language that is foreign to us. Yeah. And for that matter, there's not much teachings given. But fast forward 30 years, we are not the only center with programs, with classes, where we make use of different languages, be it Mandarin or English. And we don't even have long sessions of chanting. Yeah? We have very short session of chanting, just shy of 15 minutes. And why? Why do we do all that? Do you know how many people, how much criticism I receive for doing this? Do you all know that? For not sticking to the tradition of having Chinese chanting all the way. Yeah. But why do we do that? Yeah. We do that because, unfortunately, as much as we are Chinese, we're not really so affluent or so fluent with the Chinese language. We're doing this because our young, on one hand, we are Asians, but it's sad, isn't it, that in P1, that some exercises and tests can be answered using Hanyu Pinyin. Is it P1? P1, right? How about P2? Also. Yeah. Of course, when I was in P1, P2, I wish that was happening. Yeah. But because of that, it means that it's very hard, for us to appreciate totally the full extent of the culture, of the religion, of the wisdom, and the teachings. Yeah. It's hard to understand the characters to begin with, not to mention anything behind it. Yeah. So that's why we have SGC the way it is. Yeah. We have the opening verses, homage to the Buddha, refuge in the Buddha, and then the precepts. And then we have the precepts in Pali and in English, so that you can understand what you are undertaking. Yeah, no one can walk away from this place saying that, oh, I have no idea what I chanted. because it's in English. We do Pali and then we do English. And then we do the Chinese chanting, Heart Sutra, so that we don't get disconnected from the lineage, from the tradition. But just in case if people wonder, but Chinese chanting we don't understand. So every year we conduct Heart Sutra in English and Mandarin. Yeah. And it's in a separate session, just to make sure that you understand. And likewise, there are people who ask, every year, again a Heart Sutra. Yeah. But I think about it, every year there are P1 students, you know. Have you ever thought about this? Woe to those P1 teachers. Every year teach the same thing. 桌子椅子桌子椅子桌子 烦不烦? Huh? Think about it. How about the kindergarten teachers? Every single year, there are always new kids who blur. Every day, every single year. A, say A, A, B. Surely it's more interesting for them to teach something else. And I'm pretty sure those teachers can teach something else. But they choose to teach the same thing again and again. Think about it. Some devotees wonder like, okay, still Heart Sutra. I'm like, well, because most people haven't figured it out. And last I checked, there's supposed to be 1.5 million Buddhists in Singapore. So far we have had 10 years of Heart Sutra. Each year we have maybe about 2 runs. Some classes are 100 plus, some classes close to 200. But there are some places where the class size is smaller. So let's say if each year we cover 200 students, 10 years is only 2,000. Yeah, it's just a drop in the ocean, you know. Just 2,000. Yeah. So then we decided, hey, maybe we can record and put online. You know, our Xiao Pusa doing all this recording, very stressful for them, you know. You know where the stress come from? Yeah. Because unfortunately they have a Sifu who is not a simpleton in terms of technology. Yeah, with high standard. Yeah. A Sifu who even send them technical videos on how to take videos and photos. Yeah. For some of them, it's almost like a full-time job on top of their day job. But why do we all do all that? Some of them even ask, but Shifu, if we do this, then people may just watch online and not come. I said, yeah, that's a possibility. But why punish those who can't come because there are those who don't want to come? Yeah, because if you don't do that, then those who can't come, maybe they're overseas, maybe they are currently, just somehow the schedule, they are not able to fit it. So then if you don't put it online, then they lose out on that. Because the same argument could be said, why don't we all be reborn in the Buddha's time? You should have been reborn then, and then learn the Dharma, and then attain Arahanthood. Woe to all of you who come later. We should not record down any teachings. Yeah. Burn all the books. Yeah. If we allow the Dharma to be written down, then sentient beings will not bother to be reborn in the Buddha's time. And that's the same can be said, isn't it? But we don't do that. So every week when we come here, it is through the effort of so many individuals. I'm just the talking piece, you know. I'm just here, wah, 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 wah. But there are a lot of other individuals, such as the Xiao Pusa. We have Si Xuan. We have Si Xuan, raise your hand. She's the volunteer lead, very unassuming. Yeah, don't think that she's just a pretty face sitting around. Yeah, she does a lot of the planning, a lot of the conceptualization even, and a lot of, she really zaplang. Yeah. Sometimes I wish she will not do so much, but she just keep on doing and doing and doing. Yeah. And then together with her, there's Christina. Christina, did she? I saw her outside just now washing some things or what? Yeah. Christina, I think she's still outside with Billing, who is also still outside. Yeah. And then we have Valerie, Zhobing, Doreen. We have, raise your hand. Yeah. Then we have Jean. We have, who else? Jason. Where's Jason? Jason? Jason. 刚刚 raise lah. Yeah. Yes. And KS, where's KS? KS is taking photo. Where's KS? Can only see the hand. This is the problem with Buddhists sometimes. Like, so shy, you know. Yeah. You know why Buddhists are like that? Because no self, ma, Sifu. No self, so not supposed to be so me. Yeah. But it cuts both ways, you see. When just now I said it's very stressed, right? So today, 把他们揪出来. Yeah. While we give them credit cuts both ways, you know. With credit comes responsibility. So next time when you see that the video is not okay, you know who to look for. No, but they have, in the past 1 year, done a fabulous job. Let's give them a round of applause in appreciation. Yeah, but if every week we come here just to clap for them, then, you know, clapping like flowers is best if you give once in a while. If your boyfriend or husband or wife or girlfriend give you flowers every day, then it's like offering to the Buddha. Every day offer, then it's no feeling. No, but offering to Buddha, do it every day, okay? Yeah. But it's like breathing. Because we breathe every day, we just take it for granted. But even more importantly, as we give appreciation, the best way to give appreciation is not just to come here and then clap, but to try and remember what is shared over here. And by remembering, then you can have knowledge of what is shared. Because if you cannot remember, then it's as good as not having heard. Yeah, we say 闻思修. After hearing, you must retain it. And after retaining it, don't just keep it there. You must go back and reflect upon it so that you can have an understanding of it. And through the understanding, you can further practice, verify. But as you reflect on it, sometimes you may have questions. That's where you come here and then you ask questions. Yeah. You ask questions. Maybe you are not courageous enough to ask questions. You can write down on a piece of paper. And if you do all that, even if you are not enlightened, perhaps you can overcome bits and pieces of things that used to perhaps upset us. That is the greatest appreciation for all the hard work that they have put in. Yeah. Don't wait until the West totally embrace Buddhism, then we say, oh yeah, I think we should do something. We should learn some Dhamma. We don't have to wait for them to do it, then we do it. Yeah, we don't have to. So let's see, who is new today with us, or those who have not introduced yourself. On my left, let me see, Is there anyone on my left who is here for the first time or have not introduced yourself before?
Hi.
Hello.
I've come here before actually, but
Yes.
I'm studying, because I'm studying overseas, it's my first time coming here in a year and a few months. So it's been a while since my last Dharma class. Hi, my name is Nancy. I'm studying overseas in Scotland. I'm doing university there. And yeah.
Okay. Welcome, welcome. Such a nice surprise to see you all back here. How long will you all be here?
Around like close to 3 weeks. So
Ah.
we're going in around the 11th of January.
Okay.
Then we're flying back because my class starts again on the 15th. So I
Oh.
want to get over jet lag in like 3 days.
So, she shared with me some months back about trying to start a Buddhist society. Was it you or your sister? Your sister, right? And your sister, tell us your name.
My name is Sammy. My younger sister. I'm also studying overseas.
Mm.
We found this class through my karma.
And who is your kaima? Yes. Yes, that's Joey. Yes. So, Sammy, right? Not Samuel, Sammy. Sammy previously shared with me about wishing to start a Buddhist society in the school. Yeah. So in Singapore, in most universities, there are already Buddhist societies. Yeah. So sometimes in Asian countries, Buddhism really, because you are here, it becomes like it is something that we tend to just take for granted that it's there. Yeah. It's when many students go overseas, either for studies or to work, then you realize how scarce the Dharma is, how precious the opportunity, not just this center, but across the whole country. Yeah, how difficult it is for us to encounter a place where there is actually Dharma. Yeah. So good to see you, the two of you back here. Hope to catch up with you all more. Yeah, welcome. Due to space constraint, some of them are sitting in the cargo area behind. Yeah. I don't know how to do this, but could we invite some of you all who are sitting on chairs to come and sit in front here so that we can see those sitting behind you? Yeah. Yes. And then we can shift the chairs away. Because otherwise, it looks like they are sitting in the cargo area, Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh. Come. You have been upgraded to first class. Can sit to the side as well. Yeah, come. Okay, very good. So let me take a look. Is there anybody who is new? On the left? Yeah. Help me read them out. Yeah, who is new? Raise your hand, stand up, I can't see you. Yes. Who are carrying the mic? Who has the mic? You all must not, don't bring the mic to me, bring to them. KS, right at the back. Go. Yes, the gentleman, you just passed. The gentleman. This guy. Have you introduced yourself?
Hi, Arjun.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, my name is James. And,
James.
I got to know this center through Eventbrite.
Ah.
So I'm running.
Welcome. Very good.
Thank you.
So Eventbrite works, huh? Then who is behind you? Let me see. Who is that? Who is behind him? Yeah. Has she introduced before? Huh? She has, huh? Okay. Then how about the rest who is sitting, that gentleman to the back? Have you introduced? You have, huh? You've been here before, but have you introduced? Introduced already, oh, okay. Safe. You know, when people don't answer your question directly, you're suspicious. So it must come here more often. How about the boy, or is it a boy or a guy or what? Huh?
Family.
Oh, family, huh? So under family coverage, huh? Okay. Yeah. Okay, welcome. Okay, how about my right? On my right, who is all these season parking holders? Okay, skip. There's this guy there with a broad smile. Have you introduced before? No, okay, yes, 就是你了.
Hi, I'm Alex. I got to know this center because of my friend Shupang.
I see. Very good. So Shupang, you can tapao some food later. Welcome. And behind you, the guy and the girl. Yeah. Come, tell us.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Claudia. I also came to know of this center because of Shupang. And all four of us are from NUS Buddhist Society.
I see. Welcome. Last but not least.
Hi, I'm Zhenan. I also came with a backpack. Sorry. Yeah, Shupang recommended us to come here, so we came here to take a look at. Yeah, we are all from NUS Buddhist Society.
So do you recognize that you have a senior here who is slaving over? No. Yeah. Yes, Zhou Ping is our very talented, multi-talented, multi-disciplined talent who is like the rest of them, all very giving. Yeah. Oftentimes giving in terms of time and in terms of everything. Yeah, late nights. Yeah, there are two modes: late night and very late nights. Yeah. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm lucky to know that it was Wei Ling who introduced me to this.
So you came that time you mentioned, and then so this is the Wei Ling. Okay.
She's now here.
She's here. Okay, finally, very good. Welcome again. Okay, let's see who else is here for the first time or have not introduced yourself. There's someone sitting right behind but blocked. Okay, yes, you're a season parking holder. Very good. Next time we should give you a chop. Yeah. Then we will just scan. And if your chop has worn out, then you must reintroduce. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all for the newcomers today. Welcome to SGC, where we have our short puja, short meditation, and not so short, the Dhamma sharing. Yes. Today is the last day, and in a bit of a reflective mode. So as I've shared earlier, we have come a full year. Yeah, we have gone through many topics, many sharings, many funny stories, and for many of you all, a lot of adventures that we have shared across the year. And we're really looking forward to next year as well. But before we jump into that, we're going to have some things here to share with you all. Some very beautifully designed cards, designed by Si Xuan, Zhou Ping, and is Valerie involved? Not this one, okay, don't give her credit. Okay. Okay, KS designed one of them, okay. So before we jump into that, a bit of a few things I want to share with you all today. Yeah. Earlier on, one of the kid who is here with us shared with me her fear. For a very young kid, it may strike some adults as kind of wow. Her fear is the realization of the impermanence of our life. The stark realization, the hard cold truth that we may not be here all the time. That the people who are dear to us may not be with us all the time. That at some point in time they may leave. In fact, it's not so much that they may leave, but they will leave. It's not a question of if, but a question of when. Yeah. In fact, the auntie texted me some days back, and when I saw it, it was quite a long message. So I didn't reply immediately. I mulled over it for a while, and so I thought, well, they were quite concerned, because the young kid was getting a bit like fearful and upset or something. But then today when I saw the kid, didn't look very upset. Was still quite happy with lunch. But sometimes that's the thing about life, We may have something troubling us, but we still get on with life. And sometimes we forget it. We forget about it. It's not in our conscious mind, but it's gnawing at us at the back of our day, So, so I told them, I said, what I observe is kids sometimes can understand more than we think. Sometimes it's because we don't want to think about it. So we feel that children are not ready to think about it. So because we don't think about it, we don't want to think about it, we are afraid to think about it, we say, no, you don't think about it also. Yeah. And it's not for bad intent. Yeah, because if we think about it and we come out with nothing, yeah, or it causes us to be to have fear, maybe we don't want our children to have to face that fear. Yeah. But there are many things in life where it's not a question of whether you want to face it or you don't want to face it. If it comes, you have to face it. Yeah. And the uncertainty of change, that is something that is quite certain. So I shared with the girl that impermanence is not just about things changing. It's about how things, when the change happens, you don't know when it's going to happen, and you don't know how it's going to happen also. There's that element of uncertainty in the change. Because if it's just change, where it's certain, where you're in control, then there's nothing fearful. It is because anicca, impermanence, is describing this aspect of our existence, that all things that is conditioned, in other words, depends on conditions. All things that depends on conditions change due to conditions. Because it depends on conditions to come into existence, so whenever conditions change, then the end result will change. Not because we want it, not because we like it, but because the conditions have changed. But unfortunately, we do not know all the conditions. And so it is quite uncertain. Yeah? And also because there are too many things that is beyond our control. And that's the nature of our life. On the surface, it may seem quite bleak. Yeah? So I shared with the girl, I said, some people, when they look at impermanence, then they become very fearful. They become frightened. scared. But it doesn't always have to go that way. Recognizing and embracing impermanence, knowing and truly knowing the uncertainty of change, it should not mean that we have to be fearful. In fact, it should help us to come to a more realistic view of the world, to see clearly. And when you see clearly in this way, then we wouldn't take things for granted, would we? Yeah? We wouldn't take things for granted. There are people who are willing to be angry with people, with friends, with things, over incidences for a long time. Yeah. Not that they consciously think, I'm permanent, I can last forever. It's not that they consciously think in this way as well. It's that we unconsciously have this assumption about life. That yesterday I was around, today I'm around. So tomorrow I would still be around. So I have all the time to be angry about things, to be upset, to be dissatisfied, to be this, to be that. That in future I shall be this, I shall be that. But you don't know. You never know. So recognizing that this is a pertinent part and parcel of life should help us to overcome this base assumption that leads to complacency, that leads to taking things for granted, and worse still, taking people for granted. Yesterday I had a very good lunch offering at is it okay? Yeah, at Siu Ming's house. Her husband and one of the kid came and picked me up. Then we went over to their place, have lunch, and two of their friends came and joined in. Yeah. So then the friends talk about work, talk about their business, talk about trading, shares, stocks. Yeah. How many of you play stocks? Only one person who was very honest. Made a killing. Huh? Only a handful of you. No, it's okay. I mean, you see, it's not just whether you dabble in stocks or not. The thing is, in the conversation, in the discussion, there's something to learn here, which is, while it is important to work, to make a living, is it so important that we should neglect our family? Yeah, it was, but I can understand in a way how whether you run a business or you do investment, then sometimes it can overwhelm you, you know, that it becomes the one and only thing you think about. Yeah. But there are many things besides business and shares and investments. We all have our own little investments. In the case of that person invested some money into Bitcoin. Yeah? But then, so we tend to think, oh, Bitcoin is evil. You see, it causes people to become so overwhelmed. But we are all investors. It's not just him or the three or four of you. We are all investors. We invest different things. We invest in different things. Some of us invest in stocks and shares. Others invest in entertainment. Yeah. Then there are those who invest in relationships. Yet there are those who invest in Korean singers, stars. Recently there was one who committed suicide or something. Yeah. Wow, there were quite a few of those of my Facebook friends who posted, wow, the article about the what's his name? What's the name? Must be surname Lee, Kim or Park one of them. What's the name? Jong Woon. Jong what? Jong Hyu. Is it correct? What's the surname? Don't know the surname. Oh, you're not a fan. Okay, very good. Yeah. So who is a fan here? Come on, if you're a fan, you should be proud to admit that you're a fan. Did you all cry? All the fan club? Oh, but I tell you, the few Facebook friends and they posted, and they wrote a very long post, Wow. In a way, quite touching. But in a way, when I look at it, I can't help it. But the first thing that comes to mind is, I'm going to say this in Hokkien. You understand? Yeah. If your father is sick, I don't know whether you'll be so concerned or not. So guys, it's quite sad. I don't know. So we invest in different things. And so those who invest their time and attention and emotions and their admiration in this K-pop. Is he a singer or actor or what? Singer. So, I mean, a death is a death, okay? Not to trivialize this. But I feel that, on one hand, with this person passing, so those who are invested in that, they get affected. We get affected by the things we are invested in, that we are vested in. We get affected. There's a sutta called Piya Jatika. Piya is loosely translated something that is dear, something that brings us joy, delightful. Jatika, loosely, to be born from. So that which is born from that which is joyful, or lovable to us. You all can go and take a look at that sutta, where the Buddha described how sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress, and despair arises from those that are lovable to us, joyful to us. So think about it. Think about it. What have we invested in this year? In this year, what have we invested in? Oh, by the way, because it's raining, the floor is wet. So if some of the kids are outside playing, you all may want to caution them to be careful. There are two extremes. One is to be overly worried. The other one is bochap. Okay? Now these are extremes to be avoided. What we should do, and perhaps I like to think is what we should do is, like, if you can, and then you should just give the right caution. But then you have to trust that they are able to do the right thing. Really tell them to be careful. What are you going to do? Hold them while they play. The funny thing is that if you hold them while they play and they sleep, you may break their wrist. So sometimes it's safer for them to just fall and land on their butt than if you try to hold them. So think about it. What have we invested in this 1 year? How have we spent our year? How have we spent our year? What are the pursuits that has come to fruition, that we succeeded in? What are the pursuits that we perhaps didn't manage to succeed in? Think about it. Sorry? Louder, cannot hear. Can you all hear from behind? So wait, for the past 1 hour, behind you all are hearing. Is it really? Oh dear. Oh, all the amazing, like, so touching kind of thing, and then you all cannot hear anything. Ay, 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 ay. Ah. Huh? Sila, come here, just eat and then sit behind lah. Huh? Really? Okay, I'll try to. Is this better? But is this too loud? I feel like it's very loud. Huh? Is this better? Oh, okay. I should remind myself I'm not just talking to myself. Yeah. Sometimes I'm afraid it's too loud, So, think about the things we have invested in for the past year. Yeah? What has come to fruition and what has not. Think about it. Just spend a moment to think about that. Yeah. Because if you think about it, that young child, yeah, how old? 7 years old, is it? Yeah, 7 years old. Yeah. I mean, all of us know that impermanence and death comes. But then, how many of us really sit down and think about it? So while we reflect on the things we have invested in, good to also think about the transientness of the things we have pursued. Yeah. And the transientness of things that we have pursued. And then consider, amidst this transient nature of life, we have had so much opportunities. Yeah? While there was so much disaster in the whole world, there were so many difficult circumstances that people have gone through, and including the ones that we ourselves have gone through. We have survived. Yeah, we have managed to overcome the difficulties, maybe come up stronger, but perhaps through that process, learn something about ourselves. Yeah, and receive support, care, and concern from people around us, our loved ones, our friends and family. So reflect on the kindness of those individuals who have assisted us positively, but also reflect on the kindness. Yeah, or perhaps to say it's kindness is a bit of a stretch. Reflect on the conditions of those who have been trying in our life. Maybe it's a colleague who is quite annoying. Maybe it's our boss. Or maybe it's our family member. My late teacher said, the term 冤亲债主. 债主 means debtor, someone whom we owe something to, someone who is here to collect and make good our debt. Yeah. So then he said, but how about the yuan and qing? Yeah. So yuan means that you have some negative interaction. Then, but why qing? So he says, why is the two words together? And the way he explained it is very interesting. He said, you cannot have yuan between people if you're not close together. It's precisely because you are close together, then you have interaction, then you have problems. Why? Because we are unenlightened. So, reflect on the kindness, or be grateful for the presence of those who have perhaps been trying in our life as well. Because as I've always very frequently shared, Shifu in class teach you the theory, share with you the teachings. But it is those trying people in our life who is the practical teacher, who give you the practicum. Over here we talk about love and compassion. Yeah? Oh, how to practice it. Yeah. And how you should extend this to even those who are difficult and so on. But it is when individuals that we meet in our life who are difficult, they challenge us to grow. Yeah? Then you know, do you really have compassion? Have we really truly understood and internalized the teaching? You meet Sifu, okay lah, admittedly, yes, Mummy is here. Not this Mummy, that Mummy. Admittedly, for some of you all, Shifu is the theoretical teacher, the teacher who teach you theory and also give you practicum also. Because Shifu can give you quite a bit of stress also. But in our day-to-day life, at most you meet Shifu once a week for SGC. Maybe you attend a few of the other classes. Across the year, the maximum number of classes was 7 classes over 6 days. Yeah. So sometimes I think to myself, 为什么这么辛苦啊? Yeah. This year was supposed to be a low-key year, you know. I was supposed to have lesser classes. And in the end, I don't know what happened. In the end, we have so much classes. Then I told the Xiao Pusa, next year, we have lesser. Then in the end, you will see from this, we have even more. Yeah. So reflect on gratitude. Gratitude for all the different conditions that we have encountered. Yeah. And then we should. I want to share one last thing, which is a practice that we do in the monastic order. When we go to a place to what we call 参学, that means we visit a center, participate in the programs as a stay-in resident, and then through that process we learn and practice together. Yeah. So when we stay there for maybe, let's say, 3 years or 4 years or 10 years, or maybe it's as short as 3 months, and before we leave, we would then towards the whole community, we will make an announcement, yeah, to take leave from the community, and we will also ask for forgiveness from the community. Yeah. So then there'll be a representative from the community who will also, depending on who is junior and senior, then we have mutual like forgiveness. This is a practice that has been around since the Buddha's time. Yeah, so don't be mistaken. Oh, we're following some other schools of thought or something. No. Yeah, the practice of forgiveness is very much a part of the Buddha's teaching. Yeah. So I want to get everybody to just, settle down, yeah, and think about the year, and perhaps consider, because we are unenlightened, and because most of our friends, I say most, if not all our friends, are also unenlightened. So perhaps intentionally or unintentionally, through our body, speech and mind, we may have done things, said things, or had thoughts to harm or to hurt the other person. Yeah. And we should then seek forgiveness. Yeah. Start off just internally in your mind to acknowledge that was not so good. Yeah. And then to ask for forgiveness. In Buddhism, we don't really ask Buddha to forgive. You go and ask the person that you hurt. Yeah. If you are here with your family, you can, yeah. Like I see them ask each other for forgiveness. Yeah. Yeah. Then parents and children later, you all can. Yeah, children first. Okay, children ask parents for forgiveness. Yeah. Some of the children. What is there to forgive? And then, but it's a two-way practice. As we ask others for forgiveness, we learn to forgive others also. Similarly, intentionally or unintentionally, others, through body, speech and mind, may have hurt or harmed us through their actions. Yeah. It's been a year. Yeah. Maybe yesterday you all just quarreled. Yeah. But nevertheless, yeah, we want to end the year, wrap up, yeah, come clean. Just as all of you bathe every day, you all bathe every day, right? Some of us may not bathe every day. But better to not bathe your body. If you don't bathe your body, you know, this body is dirty. Yeah, but this body is not, you know, dirty, yeah, no problem. Dirty for a few days, okay. Yeah. But if your mind is not purified, that is a bigger problem. Yeah, if your mind, if your karma is not purified, that's a bigger problem. So, similarly, forgive those who have harmed you, be it intentional or unintentional. And if you don't know, don't waste your time. Don't spend your time trying to find out whether the person did it intentionally or not. Because there's only two possibilities, right? Either intentional or unintentional. So if it's unintentional, will you forgive? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Some of you are still doubtful. Now, listen carefully. If it's unintentional, there are cases where it's intentional. Let's deal with it later. What if it's unintentional? Will you forgive? Yes, of course, isn't it? But remember, you all said you all will forgive, okay?
I forget.
Don't forget. Forgive, but don't forget. Thanks for highlighting. Many people think forgive and forget. No, don't forget. We're not trying to train people to have dementia, you know. Yeah. Like my father has dementia, but if that is good, then we shouldn't bring him to the doctor. Right? Then we should not be looking for a cure for dementia. We should be doing studies to replicate dementia. Get everybody to forget everything. But then the Buddha himself, he could recall his whole life, his past lives as well. He could even see other people's past life. But he was free of suffering. So it's not a matter of knowing or remembering things that lead to suffering. No. It is how we cling on to those experiences and continue to torment ourselves. That is the problem. That is the real problem. That we want things that were pleasant to stay status quo even when it has changed. And things that were unpleasant, it has changed, but we still continue to torment ourselves with each replay. Some people spend sleepless nights thinking about the hurt. During that family gathering, so and so said this. How hurtful. Now if you can somehow magically cut into that person's thought process, yeah, and imagine yourself with that person in a conversation, right? And then you say, wait, what's happening? I was so hurt. You know how hurtful, how insulting that statement was. And then you ask that person, oh dear, that was horrible. When did that happen? 25 years ago. Huh? Yes. That would be like what I shared, was it 1 week ago? The dog poo. Was it last week?
Yes.
Last week, right?
Last Sunday.
Yes, last Sunday. So don't hold on to that. But doesn't mean that you don't remember it. Holding on to and remembering is two different concepts altogether. Most people can only forgive if they forget about it. But sometimes it is a very tricky thing, you know. Some people want to be over it. So they just try to forget about it. The trouble I see with this approach is that it's not fully resolved. And as a result, if they see something similar that can trigger the memory, then it comes back with a vengeance. It comes back with a vengeance. Because if you have not truly forgiven, or you forgive simply because you want to get over with it, that's not true forgiveness. True forgiveness involves remembering things. And it's not about saying that it was correct, that the person was right. No. There are some people who ask me, but Sifu, if I forgive, but the person is wrong, what? Why should I forgive? Precisely because the person is wrong, that's why you have to forgive. Yeah? If the person is right, then there's nothing to forgive. Yeah, so free ourselves of that. Yeah. How about the case where the person intentionally do something to hurt us? Jialat. Life is so complicated. So you have a choice. Someone intentionally hurt you, harm you. So you have a choice. Do you want to continue to hurt yourself? Do you want your subsequent days of your life to be punctuated, to be narrated by the bad behaviors of others? If our life can be described like a book, so there are some chapters where some jokers come into your book and then do some graffiti, write something nasty, do something nasty to you. Do you want your subsequent chapters to be, revisits again and again, over that one incident? Do you want to do that? Yeah, it's your choice. So this is the end of the year. Let's not simply just think about happy things, then take pictures, then forget about everything else. No. Reflect. Think about the unhappiness you have gone through in this year. Yeah? And recognize that, yes, you were unhappy, something bad happened, not so pleasant, and perhaps that person really did it purposely. But you must also realize, perhaps not. And even in the case where the person did it intentionally, why should you then help that person to punish yourself further? To be miserable for a few more days? Or even next year? Why do that? So seek forgiveness from others and also from ourselves. Forgive others. Think about that. And with that closing, then we look forward to the new year. If you look at the repentance puja in the Chinese Mahayana tradition, it starts off with homage to the enlightened ones, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and then doing repentance, acknowledging the faults that we have done. And this process is not just ourselves, but also to reflect on all the sentient beings who are suffering because of past actions. And in a way, by doing that, we are forgiving them for the harm. Maybe some of them harm us and now in a bad state. But we don't stop there. Then there's taking refuge, then followed by making aspirations. If you look at almost all the repentance puja, it follows a certain format like this. It doesn't just end with, crying, repent, I'm a bad person. No. In fact, the highest form of repentance in Buddhism is 观罪性空, to reflect on how even the wrongs that we have done or others have done are empty in nature. It doesn't mean that, do not be mistaken, thinking that, all the wrongs that I've done is actually empty. Bupake. Actually didn't happen. Yeah. So then you go to someone that you have hurt, and then you just talk to them happily, then the person, why are you talking to me? Then you say, why cannot talk to you? After what you have done, you have the truth to come and talk to me. Then you say, Ayah, it's all empty ma. Ayo, why are you so attached to it? Yeah, that would be misusing the Dhamma. 观罪性空 is not about that. It's not that at all. Yeah. It's to reflect on how the wrong that we have done is dependent arising. It depends on conditions. It depends on conditions as a support for those actions to arise. And defilements, our cravings and defilements, this is the prime conditions. Knowing this doesn't absolve us of responsibility, but it gives us a more complete view of what really happened. Yes, there was wrong, but this is due to conditions. And within this lies the path out of this cycle. That if you truly see that there are conditions, that is from your side, and then there are also conditions that is externalities, then you've got to ask yourself, how can you avoid those conditions that give rise to such wrongdoing in future? How should you relate to those conditions that you cannot avoid, such that it doesn't trigger defilements leading to harmful actions? That is true repentance, because in that way, then even in future, when you meet circumstances that are similar, you do not act in the same way again. Yeah, it's not simply saying that it's empty and then nothing. It is truly internalizing the teaching so that you purify from the root. Yeah. Not so much the thing that was done. The thing was done is done already. But to remove the potential for future reoccurrence. So, the last part is aspiration making. Yeah, and now I would like to, we don't have the visualizer unfortunately, so you all have to visualize yourself, but you don't have to visualize. We have printed a lot of cards, so there are a lot of designs. Yeah. Wow, look at all this. We'll now scroll through and show you all. We can perhaps distribute it out now.
Okay.
No, you stay put. Yeah, you pass to them. Let other people help out. Yes. We have printed more than is required because our intent is you can take one and then we have on one side the words three refuges, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And on the other side there are some verses. So there are a total of 5 designs. Yeah. Yes. Huh? What is Nibbana? Nibbana it means extinguishing, the end of suffering. Yeah. Yes. So these wonderful designs were these wonderful cards were designed by Si Xuan, and then he managed to go to the shop in Sunshine Plaza to get it printed, and then collected on Friday. Yeah. So, please raise your hand if you do not have writing materials. Yeah. So before you write, okay, don't write Hello Kitty and whatever. Okay. So before you write, écoutez, écoutez. Listen here. I know all of you see cards. Wow, very excited already. Yeah. So very quickly, with the cards, you see on the front side, okay, the words, 3 refuges. Yeah, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And this is a very important message that we want to get across. Yeah. You don't take refuge in Sifu. No. Yeah, Sifu is trying to be a vehicle as unadulterated as possible to guide you all towards the Dhamma, and through the Dhamma to the truth. Yeah? And it is through the Triple Gem, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Sangha is not just Sifu. Sangha is any and all monastics, monk or nun, from any tradition. Yeah, this is Sangha. Yeah, not just Chinese Mahayana, not just Theravada, not just Myanmar, Thailand, Sri Lanka, not just Tibetan, Japanese or Korean, yeah, but Sangha monastics from any tradition. Yeah, that is our refuge also. And then in the different designs, we have the verses. Yeah, and after much harping, you see that we didn't just put verses there, but we also put in the source. This is so important because without the source, there are a lot of nice cards, nice pictures on the internet where it sounds quite good, yeah, but you don't know where it's from. And then they put a Buddha image there. Yeah, you notice that of all the designs, there's only one with Buddha image. Yeah, it doesn't mean that the rest are not Dharma. Yeah, and for that matter, on the internet, you see a lot of pictures with Buddha image and then some words that seems to make sense, but they may not be what the Buddha taught. You know. Yeah, so occasionally I see this, and sometimes if it's too blatantly wrong, I will write down, I'm not sure whether Buddha said that, you know. I think the Buddha said this instead. Or sometimes when I know that this is actually a quotation from the teachings, I will put down there, citation please. Yeah. And it's not to criticize people or to, discourage people. But it's to encourage people to go back to the roots, go back to the teachings. Yeah. So with this as a basis, then you flip to the inside part. You see a blank piece with the top left-hand corner, 2018 aspiration. And then at the bottom left-hand corner, this very beautifully designed logo. I'll share with you all a small little episode. Yeah, we had a bit of a discussion internally about whether to put the SGC logo or not. Yeah, so you all can have your own thoughts also, and maybe you all can share later. Yeah, but when we first come out with, when Si Xuan first came out with the design, there were no logos. Yeah, and I must applaud her for that, because her concept is, why should this be about SGC? We already have this card which has SGC here, SGC here. We already have the brochure, SGC, 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 SGC. And then on our slides, we have SGC. I think there's enough SGC. So on one hand, I agree with her. Yeah. And to me, which is more important? Dharma or SGC? Dharma. Without Dharma, there's no SGC. And Dharma is not, an SGC is not an end by itself. Yeah, it's a platform, it's an avenue, it's a vehicle for people to learn Dharma. Yeah. So if people can learn Dharma without SGC, that's okay. So there's nothing to protect. Yeah? Because Dharma is the truth. Dharma points to the truth. You don't have to protect the truth is always there. Yeah. When we say we are trying to protect Buddhism, protect the Dharma, we're not trying to protect Dharma, you know. We're trying to protect the means of pointing to the Dharma, because the means is not apparent, not so easily discovered by ordinary folks. Yeah. So, in the end, we still have the logo. Yeah, because Shifu is very smart. Shifu called in the power of voting. So I asked the team to vote, and majority of them voted for for a logo. And then she said, okay lah. Yeah. But even though it was voted in, I still wanted to highlight this. That on one hand I agree with her notion that it doesn't have to have the logo. But on the other hand, I also considered that among those who come here, some of you got to know about the Dharma in a certain way through SGC. And it's a form of encouragement that, and perhaps recognition, if you will, that not so much SGC in terms of Shifu or Xiao Pusa, but the SGC is all of us. Yeah, that together we made it through the year, and we learn and grow together. Yeah. Then what about next year? Yeah. And so, good to have also. Yeah. But don't spend too much time admiring the logo. Okay? I want to give you all some time to reflect about the things that I've shared earlier. And you can write, although here it says 2018 aspirations. Yeah? But don't just think in terms of, oh, next year I aspire to learn more Dharma. Next year I want to meditate more. Give something more concrete. Yeah. If you say you want to meditate more, how much more? If you say you want to learn more Dharma, what exactly do you want to learn? Yeah. Write down in terms of slightly more concrete terms. And perhaps, if I can quote myself, write down 3 things that you would like to work on for this new coming year. Yeah. It can be something that perhaps you like to improve upon, something wholesome that you would like to work on. Think of the wholesome qualities that perhaps this year you have started on, that you would like to grow, or some wholesome qualities in others, good qualities, strengths. It doesn't have to be all Buddhist, Dhamma. Yeah. It can be that you see someone who is very punctual. You see someone who is very detailed in their work, very earnest in what they do. Yeah, that you like to emulate. Yeah, you can put that down as something that you would like to work on. Yeah, and then think about one area that perhaps you are lacking. Maybe patience. Patience is something that I think a good number of us may find lacking. Yeah, you can write that down among other things. Yeah, something that you would like to concretely work on, to improve upon. Yeah. Then lastly, if you haven't written down any spiritual thing, then last one you can put down some spiritual progress that you would like to have. This 3 is just a guide for you to start. You can write more. You can even write down the forgiveness that you have reflected on just now. Yeah. If you're going to keep this card, so don't worry, Sifu is not going to take it back and then publish on the web. This is very carefully designed so that you can fold it after you write it down. Yeah, and it's in a good material. Okay, so don't just anyhow scribble and then go out and throw it into the rubbish bin. This is not disposable, okay? This is for you to keep inside your wallet. So this, you set your own goals. Yeah. Buddhism is a very liberal religion. We don't say everybody must attain enlightenment next Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, you decide how enlightened you want to be next year. Maybe not perfectly enlightened, but maybe more enlightened. More enlightened such that when someone criticizes your work, you want to be able to listen to the criticism without becoming defensive. Sounds very worldly, not very spiritual, but you'll be surprised how that is a cornerstone to our spiritual progress. Yeah. So reflect on things and then just pen it down. Okay? I'll give you a bit of time for you to write it down. Is this distributed already, the calendar? Hang on. I let you all have 3 minutes to write down your aspirations. Yes. Yeah. So we have printed more, so you can write down on one, and perhaps your family or friends, if you feel that they can benefit from doing this exercise, you can ask for more and bring back and share with them. Yeah. And over the next 1 year, you can use this as a reminder. Yeah, reminder for yourself of your goals. Sifu is sometimes quite, I would like to think I'm being down to earth. But some people we may say it's quite worldly. Yeah. So your goals shouldn't just be spiritual goals. Yeah. You should also consider giving yourself some worldly goals. Like, I want to spend some time with my family. Yeah. I want to also spend some time on my own. Learn to be at ease by yourself. Whether you are with family currently or single, learn to be at ease and happy by yourself. And you'll be surprised, yeah? How about financial goals? Oh, financial planning, here we come. You can also ask yourself, okay, are you financially stable? Now, before you think, oh yeah, Sifu, why you talk about such worldly things? No, because if you are not financially sound, hard for you to practice, Yeah? How to meditate if you have your bank loan there's a few $100,000 or a few $1 million? Yeah? But why is that? I have some students who get into debt because they feel that they must buy a new condo that is $1.8 million because staying in a 5-room or 4-room HDB is not enough. Yeah, even though it's fully paid, they rather forego that, sell it, and then use the money, and pay off the deposit for the 1.8 million condo. This is a real person, yeah, a family of one of my students. Yeah. So financial prudence. How to plan, I leave it to you. But you can set financial prudence as a goal. I have sat down with quite a number of devotees yeah, doing a very simple checklist. What are the standard expenditure per month? And then what are the outstanding loans, outstanding mortgages, and so on and so forth. And how much is the income? If the person is single, then how much is your own income? If it's a household, then what is the combined income? It's not that complicated, really. You don't need to have an economics or accounting degree to do that. Yeah? Because once you put everything in, then you know whether you are in the green or in the black or in the red. Yeah. And you'll be surprised. There are many people who are unconsciously stressed over this. And no amount of meditation can reduce the number of loans, unless they work on it. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. So are you all done with the aspiration making? Yes? Yeah. In many temples I've seen, I really like this design by Sishen, because many places they would have a card or a Bodhi tree leaf, and then you write down your aspiration, then you hang at the Bodhi tree. And then you forget about it, and then live your life. So I like this because you write it down, you keep it in your wallet. It's designed for you to handily keep it with yourself. So in the next year, 2018, sometimes things will go your way. Sometimes things may not go your way. When things go your way, you should be careful. We tend to think, when things don't go our way, we should be careful. But you should be careful when things go your way as well. Why? Because when things go your way, we tend to be overcome by pride and become heedless. And we may forget about our aspiration, our goal in life. And we just become frivolous in our pursuit, pursue this, pursue that, because we are intoxicated by our success. So when you're successful, spend some time by yourself. Pick out this card and ask yourself, are you on track? Similarly, when things don't go your way, don't feel so down. Take out this card and ask yourself, are you on track as well? Because if these goals, these aspirations are worthy, but maybe things are not going your way, doesn't make it wrong. It just means that there are no conditions for you to pursue them currently. Yeah? So don't be disheartened. Yeah? But just keep this in mind and work towards it. Ask yourself, what are the conditions required for you to fulfill your aspirations? Perhaps we cannot overcome them ourselves. There are friends here, and maybe your family, who can perhaps offer their own experience and suggestions. And perhaps in some cases even offer you direct resources. So next, I want to present to you all, again, very beautifully designed by our team here. Zhou Bing, also Sishen. So who? 快从实招来. The team. Yeah, they always like the team. No self, ma, Sifu. Cannot say it's me. No me. Yeah. What do you all think about the... you haven't given up. Please give out. We have two versions. One that is senior friendly. And the other one is junior friendly.
I'm junior.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So take one and pass down. So this is a calendar of events. Now, take note, okay? Take note. These are the special events, okay? So every week we are still having SGC. But if we put SGC in every week, then you will have the whole calendar filled up. Yes. So first of all, I want to... ちょっと待ってください. Right? So I want you all to look at the outer cover first. On the front, you see event calendar 2018 and our logo. Yeah. And then on the inside, you'll see a simple write-up on what all gone already. All discussing, hey, which day you want to go? Wow, hey, community service leh. Got temple tour. Oh, got retreat. Wow. Okay, take it easy, okay, take it easy. So for the brochure and the calendar, the small one, yeah, you can keep one yourself. We've printed more as well. So for you to share with your friends or family who may be interested. Yeah. So you'll see in the small version, we have a summary of SGC program. In the larger one, then we have a more detailed, in the pamphlet we have a more detailed description. Yeah. And on the back, 来，有事情问师傅，不要在那边讨论。Yeah. So on the back we have this famous quote. Yeah. To avoid all evil, to cultivate good and purify one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. Yeah. 诸恶莫作，众善奉行，自净其意，是诸佛教。Yeah. So this is a famous verse from Dhammapada 183. And guess what? We are on YouTube. Yeah. So on YouTube, you go to youtube.com/SG cultivation. Yeah. SG cultivation. So the full thing is spiritual group cultivation, but we decided that it's too much of a mouthful, so we shorten it to SG cultivation. Happened to sound like Singapore cultivation. Yeah. Oh, and if you look at the inset, guess what? We're also on Facebook. Well, a lot of you are already in our list, but in case if you do not know, we are in Facebook also. And what is the link? Facebook.com/SG cultivation also. Wow. Yes. So most of you are already in the WhatsApp chat group. And do you see the lion, the red color?
Yes.
Oh, isn't it lovely?
So Dong Qiang.
Yes, you see? Without explanation, she immediately said Dong Dong Qiang. Yeah. So that is our Chinese New Year celebration. So a very quick run through. In January, tomorrow, we have New Year celebration at the Buddhist Library. Do join us if you would like to. Join us. Well, tomorrow is the first day of the year, and we would like to start off the year with expressing our gratitude towards the Buddhist Library, Bhante Dhamma Ratana, for their support of our programs also. We usually have SGC here, but on some days where the center is closed, then Bhante Dhamma Ratana has very graciously offered their center for us to use anytime we need, as long as the center is available. Yeah. So tomorrow at 7:45 a.m. Yes, very late, huh? So a.m. Not p.m. We will go to the coffee shop near to Buddhist Library and have a morning breakfast, first breakfast of the year, and then after that we proceed to the Buddhist Library at 9 a.m. Yeah, depending on the actual, the tentative plan is we'll do a short puja, then after that I will do a short sharing on the New Year, and we invite Bhante down to do a New Year blessing puja, then plus gift sharing on the Dhamma. Yeah, and after that we have catered for lunch. Yeah, so show of hands, how many of you are going to come tomorrow? Raise it up high. Okay, so the rest are coming also. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, all welcome. Okay, all welcome. Then 15th of January, the start of 10 weeks meditation class at BU over here. So 15th of January, that is the Monday class. Okay, 15 January starting, 10 weeks. 20th of January, there's life liberation. So keep a lookout in the WhatsApp chat group. We're going to post it, and then you all can sign up. In April, February, 18th of February, we have Bai Nian. So I will have an open house, and then you all can come and Bai Nian. Yes. Not my house. The place that was offered for me to stay. Is it okay for me to say who offered her? Can lah. She very 尴尬 already. Can lah. It's okay. Yeah. So since 3 months back, I've been residing very near to this place through the kindness of Joey. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. So for these 2 years, herself and her hubby Alex, they very kindly offered their place. Initially, they actually offered last year, but then because I was staying over at another place, then ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Yeah, but they persist for 1 year, you know. Yeah, then along the way offered for us to use it for the group study, and so 3 months back, 没有 有 Yeah, so I'm very thankful. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because of the shift, a lot of the logistics and the movement is much more simplified. Yeah, so 18th of January, you are welcome to come and join in for a very simple Chinese New Year celebration. Okay, 拜年. We'll post up detailed information of all the programs as we proceed. Okay, in March, we'll have the New Year run of Heart Sutra workshop. Because every year I actually have the same workshop organized in SBF. So next year I decide to just do it together. So I don't have parallel runs, which can be quite draining for me physically. So next year, starting 9th of March, Heart Sutra for 12 weeks, around 11, more like 11 weeks. Yeah, 10, 11 weeks will be held at Singapore Buddhist Federation. The registration link, everything is up. The poster is here also. Where's the poster? It's behind already. So you can start your registration. 24th of March, 1 day urban retreat. Then April is a Lao. May is a Lao month. Then we have temple tour. Yeah. So why are we having temple tour? Very important to know why before we do something. Yes. So we are having temple tour because Buddhism is not just about SGC also. Buddhism is also not just about Buddhist Union. We want those of us who come here to also learn about the other traditions, the other centers, to know that Buddhism is alive throughout the whole of Singapore. Yeah. So keep a lookout for more information. We'll post it up, and then the temple tour will usually be a 1 day program where we visit different centers, and each center, where possible, we'll invite the resident monk or nun to give a short sharing. Yeah, both a bit about the history of the center, and also on some teachings. Yeah. Then we have lunch at one of the temple and proceed to the other ones in the afternoon. So do look up and sign up. Community service. The last time, the recent one we had at the Lee Amoy's home was very well received, and some of you shared, "Oh yeah, Sifu, so limited, only a small number. We want to sign up, cannot sign up." Yeah, but unfortunately, homes is not a shopping center. We cannot have a lot of people go there. Yeah. So as much as a lot of us are keen to contribute, to be there, to serve and so on, places are limited. Yeah. And as we proceed, we may consider having more runs of this. Yeah. But we need volunteers. So keep a lookout. In June, we have our 3-day, 2-night urban retreat. Yeah. And what is this Heart Sutra workshop? Oh, okay. So this Heart Sutra workshop and this Heart Sutra workshop, these are two separate runs. Yeah. This is the English Heart Sutra. This is the Chinese Heart Sutra. Both are Heart Sutra. Okay. Yeah. This is held in Buddhist Union. Okay. Details will come out as we proceed, because these are much later. Then we have Life Liberation in July, followed by Sangha offering in August, and the commencement of the Mantra of Great Compassion workshop. Yeah, so among other devotees who have asked for it, Valerie also requested. So we managed to slot this in August. Yeah. Wow, what a year. So it will be held over here as well. Then in September, we have one-day urban retreat, followed by another program, the meditation class. So the meditation class in January is in Mandarin, but I will try to give English instructions also. Then the one in September will be in English. And if there are students who are more fluent in Mandarin, I will give a bit of instructions in Mandarin. October, temple tour again, and then November, community service. We'll wrap up the year as we did this year with our last major program, the 3-day, 2-night Heart Sutra retreat. Yeah. This time round, next year, it will be in English. Yeah, this year was in Mandarin. One of the retreat, I don't know which one, but one of them may be organized in St. John Island. Oh, someone almost fall off the chair. Yeah. Have you all gone to St. John Island before?
I went there
No.
before.
You lived there before?
No, I went there before.
Oh, you went there before? Wow.
It's a very deserted place, but
No, don't listen to her. It's not all that deserted. Yeah, I went there. We did a recce there. It's actually quite well kept. Yeah, I was told all kinds of horror story. Sifu, that place very ulu, not developed, a lot of sand flies. What? When I went there, it's all nicely paved. It looks like Marina Barrage, like all nicely paved with palm trees, with with the beach. Very nice. Yeah. The dormitories is a bunk bed style. Yeah, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. The key advantage about that place is cost. Yeah, when we conduct our retreats, again, I want to show appreciation for our team. Yeah, over the years for handling all the registration, the poster design, publicity, and also the logistics for all the retreats. Which we for the retreats, let me just share with you a little bit. There were those who had suggested to me, Shifu, why don't we charge a bit more for the retreat? Then, the excess funds, I say like, what? Then how about, why charge more? So they very kindly, they said, if you charge more, then the excess can be used to defray your other costs. I said, no. And then they were thinking, the last time I was doing rental somewhere, then they can defray that. I said, no. Keep the retreat cost fee plain and simple. Yeah, don't complicate things. Yeah, if they register for a retreat, and whether it's a stay-out retreat, how much is a stay-out retreat? 45? 1 day is 15. Yeah, a stay-out retreat is $15, inclusive of the lunch. And if it's here, all the fees, subtracting the food, is donated to the center. Yeah, SGC do not collect the excess. Yeah, we don't collect the excess. But then when we organize retreats outside, the stay-out retreats at the CBR, there are excess. Yeah, so what do we do with the excess? We use it to defray senior citizens and students. Students, NS men? No, we don't offer NS men discount. We should. So 2018 we also offer as NS men. Yeah, service to the nation. Yeah. Maybe we should also include those who are working in the uniform services. Like nurses lah. Doctors don't need, doctors have enough money. Correct? Yeah. Nurses. So the thing is, for these retreats, right? As much as we keep the fee to a minimum, because whenever we have stay-out retreats is at City Beach Resort. So the base cost of the rooms is sometimes prohibitive for some members. But if they don't stay in, then they have to travel all the way to Labrador Park. Yeah, so that's why we explore a lot of different options, including St. John Islands. Yeah, the cost is really minimal. Yeah, we can easily find someone to just sponsor the whole lodging. Yeah, and so people can just go there and really, just take a bump boat. Is it bump boat? Bump boat, yes. Huh? A ferry? Oh yeah, it's a proper ferry, not a bump boat. Take a ferry, go over to St. John's Island, and then surrender your phone to us. Don't worry, you will not disappear, Yeah, and really immerse in a retreat. Yeah, and not have to worry about anything, including costs. Yeah, but to do that, then we have to look for volunteers to help to do cooking. Yeah, my Xiaopusa, they are so worried, They want to make sure that everybody is well fed and everything. I said, don't worry lah. Don't worry. We can definitely find volunteers to do that, isn't it? Can we? Say yes. Yes. Yeah, you all say, so you all better volunteer. Yes. So, one of these days, we'll have the retreat, okay? So, there is this pamphlet you can use, yeah? And there's also the small one that you can collect. And again, very nicely designed to be credit card size, wallet size, okay? So, take one, take a few, share with those who may benefit from this, all right? Thank you very much. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of you in the new year good health and happiness. May all of you continue to learn the Buddha Dharma. Wherever you are, may you be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛，起立。